that our school system is training our kids.
What do you think of the triple three?
It's going to be a bit boring to watch, but I like the test. I think it's going to be a good test. Yeah.
For the past couple of days I've just been at home sick, resting. Had 3 days off training. During those 3 days though, our workouts have been getting released for the regionals, so we've got them all now. We know all the details about them. I'd say that's probably one of the most savage things I've put in the CrossFit regionals so far. 22.5 kilo dumbbells each hand, 50 box step overs practice now. So when I first started filming, I was really just giving out some little snippets about what I was doing and how my training was going on my Instagram stories. And I got a lot of really good feedback about that. People just found that they really wanted to know what was actually going on and how I approached my training and kind of what went into it. Specifically, I would share a lot about what I was doing in terms of my training volume, and that surprised a lot of people. Because I don't really train that much, so people found that interesting, and yeah, I think a lot of people requested that I continue to do a little bit more of that. So instead of giving you guys like a highlight reel of you know, what's perfect and that sort of thing like you see on Instagram, I'm just going to give you a bit of a look into how I train, how I approach things, just the way it normally happens, which is not always perfect. Actually discussed my plan of attack. We settled on 4 sessions a week. Each was to last at least 90 minutes. And I was allowed to go over, but I couldn't go under that training volume. That we were taking into consideration that were important to me was preventing injury. That was a big one. Second one was making sure that I still enjoy the training. And the third one was the point of diminishing returns.
I love your non-highlight reel. I think it's very real, and it's a nice way to connect with you.
I think there are athletes in the field and in the top 30 and even at the games that all take a really different approach. So I know that a lot of people do have full-time jobs and they're not full-time athletes and they're not full-time coaches, so they don't spend their entire time in the gym. So there are definitely different ways to approach it, and I definitely take the option where I spend a little bit less time just focusing on my training. But it definitely is possible to still achieve a really high level of fitness in this sport without making it your entire life. I'm definitely not saying that if you want to win the CrossFit Games, you can just keep it as a kind of a side hobby that you do. You definitely need to allocate a lot more of your resources and time towards it. But if it is just something that you do because you enjoy it and you get a good sense of satisfaction out of achieving something every day, then you can definitely manage it alongside a lot of other things, and you don't need to make it your entire life. It's a big juggling act, and a lot of the times I can feel like really overwhelmed, and I do get actually quite stressed. But one thing that I'm very strict on myself with is not labeling what I'm doing as hard. So I don't like to tell myself that anything that I'm doing is hard. And the reason is because when I look back and I just look at the whole task that I'm doing in its entirety, so maybe my goal for the whole year for the business, or you know, qualifying for regionals or finishing the regionals weekend when I'm really far away from it, I do feel like it's really big. But I don't like to give myself the opportunity to just label it as hard, because I think then it gives me an opportunity to feel too sorry for myself, to feel like, oh yeah, I can kind of give up, or I can kind of pull back. But when I just like break down my tasks into little things, into a day and into just a workout, nothing in itself is really that hard. You kind of just have to juggle a little bit of the overwhelm and a little bit of doing like so many things at once. But when you do that, I can't say that's hard. When I actually have a bit of a reality check every now and then, and I look at what some other people are going through, that are actually real problems or seem like real problems to me, I feel really bad, and I feel like a huge sense of guilt for looking at my life and all the opportunities that I have to compete and to do all these really fun things and projects and collaborate with people. And yeah, I feel guilty if I say hard. Real life problems to me, that's more like being born into a really disadvantaged country. We don't have very many opportunities, where women aren't exposed to the same opportunities that men are, where you don't actually get to use your body. You might have a physical disability, you're in a war zone, you face discrimination, all those sorts of things that basically we don't have to deal with. All we have to do is show up and try really hard in a workout that we're really good at, and that we've had the opportunity to train for. So no sympathy for myself on any of these workouts that suck or hurt or anything. They're uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable. All it does is it helps you get better at dealing with discomfort, and it probably makes you a better person for life. But it does have the potential to make you a worse person if your whole life revolves around some workout that you're not good at, or you didn't want programmed because you don't have a background in that thing, or whatever it is. So in my next vlog, I am going to break down what I'm thinking of the workouts for the regionals, so every single individual one and how I'm kind of going to approach it. But that's a little insight. I'm not too fussed about any of them, and I'll give you the details on that in the next vlog. So make sure you subscribe so you get all the details on when that's released. If you have any questions that you want answered, or you want me to do a vlog on a particular topic, or there's something actually at the regionals weekend you want me to film and things like that, let me know and I'll definitely do that.